For all the brouhaha generated over graphics and music, a video game is only as immersive as the storytelling it uses to draw players in. It's the story that introduces us to the world and its characters, while taking us on grand adventures. 2016 was full of interesting stories and memorable characters, but which one stood out the most? Let's look at the nominees for Best Story of 2016. Uncharted 4: A Thieves End. Nathan Drake's last hurrah ended up being much more than his swan song. From the reappearance and bond with his brother Sam to life after marriage, Uncharted 4: A Thieves End explored the many complexities of a more mature Nathan Drake. The epilogue showcasing Drake's transition into a life of adventure and family is a comforting resolution for one of gaming's more iconic adventurers. Mafia III. The mixed reception to Mafia III's gameplay and open world couldn't overcome the praise for its story. A tale of revenge centered on one Lincoln Clay served as the backdrop to depict racism in the late 1960s. Clay's personal arc of vengeance transitioned to becoming the monster he sought to destroy, and despite its repetitive side missions, Mafia III's core story delivered. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Excuse the cliches for a second and take in the humanity that is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's story. This isn't a tale of patriotism as much as survival and optimism. Infinite Warfare's campaign may be predictable, kill insert main villain's name here, but its characters and the freshness with which it approaches key plot points is worth noting. Inside. Play Dead is no stranger to hype and mystery. After all, it had a lot to live up to after Limbo. Inside may not be as game-changing, but its presentation, story, and atmosphere deserve so much more recognition. Who are you, and are you really in control? Are we all simply driven by another's imperative? In as few words as possible, Inside told an incredibly compelling tale. Owlboy. Otis is a pacifist, but far from a coward. So when sky pirates suddenly attack his village and kidnap his friends, it's up to Otis to rescue them. Otis's journey through the world of Owlboy is one of attention and care, balancing animated fantasy with retro goodness. Even if Owlboy stole a dozen or so hours of your time, Otis's story and the turns he endured would stay with you. Gears of War 4. How do you expand on a universe while staying faithful to its roots, marching towards the future, yet remembering the past? Gears of War 4 showed us how, delivering JD Phoenix as a natural hero to root for, while still presenting a world in peril. Despite the insistence on simply throwing the player from one waypoint to another and reusing enemy factions, Gears of War 4's themes of family, reinforced with a long overdue sense of horror, made for one of the more enjoyable stories of 2016. And the winner is Mafia III. During Mafia III's ending, it comes time to decide who you really are. This isn't in the good and bad sense either. The sum of your actions effectively comes back to haunt you, but it's amazing how many times Mafia III poses that question. The arc of revenge and overwhelming anger felt by Clay is tragic and self-destructive as much as it is progressive. If Mafia III held up a mirror to the disgusting traits of humanity in the late 60s, then it also served as a window into the deepest, darkest depths of a man's soul.